Welcome, everybody. Sportsbook Review. I'm Mike Brenner, and this is the PuckHeads. I'm talking once again with Dana Lane, who is out in Las Vegas. And you know what? Here we go. It's time to get it on. It's down to the final 8, and what we're going to do is break down the 4 series that are going to start tomorrow and then follow up on Thursday. Dana, first and foremost, how's everything going in Las Vegas? And has any one team caught your attention and said, holy shit, I didn't see that coming?
Well, first of all, Mike, thank you for having me on, and everything is awesome in Las Vegas. It certainly is getting warm, that's for sure, but at least we still have the cool nights, but it won't be long before it'll be warm 24/7. Mike, as far as teams that have caught my eye, it's the same 2 teams that we have talked about going into the series and most of the second half of the regular season. It's the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Edmonton Oilers. And, you know, I think that they're on the collision course for the Stanley Cup final, and we talked about that for a while. And now, especially that the Chicago Blackhawks are out of the equation, I think the Edmonton Oilers' road has just got a little bit easier.
Well, I can tell you one thing. The way Chicago played, I think anybody's road would have been easy going through them. I was very disappointed. Now, there's one team, Washington, all right? I expected them to falter in that series. I don't think they have enough juice, though, to get it done against Pittsburgh. You and I both have had a good feel for Pittsburgh, you especially early on. You said if this team picks up momentum, they already believe they're going to be hard to stop. And then Edmonton, yes, absolutely. We've both been on them as well. I'll tell you what, though, those Nashville Predators, they're nothing to look at and say, they're not going to be a threat. I think that team is going to bring it as well. And with that being said, let's get into the first series. Nashville is going to St. Louis to kick it off against the Blues. These teams met, I believe, 5 times this year, and if I'm correct, Nashville got the best of it 3-2. What are your thoughts on this series, and is this going to be possibly a 7-gamer?
Well, I like Nashville in this series. I'm not sure I like them to go 7. This looks like a 6-gamer to me, and especially if Nashville can come out and play game 1 efficiently. And by that, I mean I worry a little bit about the residue from the previous series going into the next one. And, of course, that's a big hurdle to overcome the Chicago Blackhawks. So game 1 in each one of these series is kind of the beginning of the story of the series. And what happened in the previous series has very little to do with what's going to happen in these series. They were very good in the neutral zone against Chicago. They did not allow Chicago to transition very well. And of course, Pekka Rinne was absolutely fantastic, but will he be fantastic against the St. Louis Blues? Because Pekka Rinne, as we know, has been completely inconsistent over the last year and a half or so. Fantastic against Chicago, but it's easy to get focused on the team that you figure to be your biggest nemesis. Nashville is 19-7 in their last 26 games against the West, which is a good sign for them. While St. Louis, let's not forget, this is kind of their time where they kind of stumble in the conference semifinals, and they've dropped 9 out of their last 13 games in the conference semifinals. So historically, this is not a spot good for St. Louis, but I still like Nashville, even if their record was better in that spot.
And again, this is the NHL, and anything can happen because I didn't see the Blues making it to this point, to be honest with you. All right, Edmonton at Anaheim. Edmonton got the best of this team, if I'm correct, 4-2 on the year. I believe they met up 6 times. I don't know. I just think Edmonton's going to grind it out. I think Anaheim's going to bring a real stiff defense. But I think at the end of the day, the momentum that this team has picked up and the confidence that they're skating with on a regular night-to-night basis, I think it's going to be hard to stop. And I think Edmonton possibly goes on the road and gets that first game.
Well, and I love Edmonton, I mean, for sure, Mike. And also, let's keep in mind, Anaheim's not playing a team that they beat 26 straight times at home. You know, this is a whole completely different animal. And as you mentioned, I don't know if it was 4-2. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was 4-2 or it was 3-2 during the regular season. I think it was 3-2. But regardless, this is a team that's got the Ducks number and has had success against the Ducks during the regular season. Now, San Jose did a fantastic job in bottling up Connor McDavid and especially Vlasic. Anytime McDavid was on the ice, Vlasic was shadowing him. But as the series went on, I thought McDavid got more room, and you'll notice McDavid became the trailer, which enabled him to have a lot more space as the series went on. And even though his offensive numbers weren't gaudy, he did get the puck to the net a lot for Edmonton to have a lot of second chance points or opportunities rather. So I like Edmonton in this series. I still think there's defensive questions for the Anaheim Ducks, no matter how much people think that they're deep at that position. Cam Fowler was out in the first round. I don't know how effective he'll be just coming in fresh. And, of course, Sammy Vatanen as well played very limited in the first series as well. So their strength certainly is in their defense. But I think not as bad as the Boston Bruins, but I think a lot of these guys that are going to come back and try to infuse themselves in the lineup might be problematic to start the series.
Yeah, and I like Edmonton. I wouldn't be surprised if they got this in 6 games, maybe even 5. I like what you said about Anaheim. They have a couple guys coming back. They're going to be a little rusty. I really believe that. And also, Edmonton, they manned up. They literally, faced that tough defense San Jose put on them, and they figured it out. And absolutely, Connor, he did. He absolutely separated himself. He found the space, and it made all the difference. I think they're going to jump right into that early as opposed to later on in the series. All right, on Thursday, we got the Rangers going to Ottawa. And you know what? Ottawa could be that dangerous team. I like Ottawa in this series. I really do, Dana. I think they're going to get the best of the Rangers. If I'm correct, I believe they were even in the series 3-3 this year, or 3-2. New York might have had the advantage. Who do you feel might be the sharp ticket on this one?
Hey, Mike, all I've been hearing about is how the Rangers throw out 4 lines, and each line has a 20-goal scorer on it, and all those facts are absolutely true and very interesting. But I do know this, Mike. The New York Rangers, until Game 6, did not have an odd man rush against a defensive-oriented Montreal Canadiens team. And now I think they're running into a team that plays their system even better than the Canadiens do under Guy Boucher. And especially if they get that lead, they'll go into that 1-3-1 shell and make it very difficult for you to get pucks to the net. At plus $1.40 in the series, I think it is absolutely a chance to take with the Ottawa Senators, and I think that they will be better than the Montreal Canadiens, basically at the same system. Now, let's see. The Rangers typically, when they have a little bit of rest, do not come out and play their best hockey in Game 1. In fact, in the last 13 chances off of having 3 days rest or more, the Rangers are just 3-10. So that's a great opportunity for the Senators to go into MSG, a place that the Rangers have not played well, and steal a game and control this series. And Ottawa has been fantastic in following up previous victories. In fact, in the last 14 attempts following a victory, they've won 10 of those. So Ottawa, to me, has a great chance to go into MSG, take Game 1, and control this series.
You know what? And Ottawa also, I think that they're not worried about rest. They're not worried if the other team had more rest. I like them. I like them to win the series, and I like that plus 140. I think that's a hell of a nice number, and take that extra 40% from the bookie. All right, the last series is going to be Washington and Pittsburgh. Here we go. I like Washington to maybe get 2 games in this at the most. Again, that's just my opinion. I just think Pittsburgh's playing with such force, such dominance, and such belief. They get hungrier every night to defend that cup. Any thoughts on the possibility of a 6-game series, or do you see this possibly going 5?
No, that seems about right. 6 games seems about right to me. But, I've tried to put my finger on the Washington Capitals, because we know they have had fantastic regular seasons, but that has not equated in the postseason success. And I guess it comes down to me is the Washington Capitals are not very good when they're not the bully in the game. And I don't think they're going to be the bully. When they play teams that are fast and it comes right at them the same way that they want to come at other teams, they are not very good. And so for that fact, I like the Penguins in this series. And, of course, I like them to win the Stanley Cup. And it's interesting, Mike. When we get to this point of the season, we talk about depth. And that is the biggest word, or that is the biggest factor that enables teams to go deep. And you think about what the Pittsburgh Penguins as an organization has done and where they have drafted every single year, but yet they continue to come up with depth guys. And especially now, if guys like Chris Kunitz come back, if Carl Hagelin comes back, that's just going to give them even more depth. And yes, the loss of Letang was huge, but I think this team has so much firepower that they can overcome huge injuries to their defense. The Penguins, just to break it down, why are they successful? They're 64-28 versus the East in their last 92 attempts. To break it down even further, against the Metropolitan Division, their division, the division that the Capitals are in, they're 42-16 in their last 58 attempts. This is a team that rises to the top when they're playing the best, and I expect nothing less than that in this series.
There's Dana Lane breaking it down. Dana, you were definitely prepared for this segment. You know these series as well as anybody, and I truly believe today that this is the reason you thrive. You love NHL hockey. Do you ever even take a break and watch a basketball game?
I do watch basketball once in a while, but I will tell you this, in these 2 days where there's absolutely no hockey, I get to watch ECHL hockey, and tonight I'm going to watch the American Hockey League playoffs. So I'm always looking out for hockey.
My God, lives, breathes, drinks, and sleeps with it. I love it. All right, viewers, make sure you check out Dana Lane. He writes his daily articles for Sportsbook Review. And also check out the PuckHeads, because Dana's record this year has been phenomenal. He's heating up the ice, and I see no reason why that's going to stop. Tomorrow, we're going to be giving our picks for this next round, the Game 1, and then also we're going to be giving our picks for Thursday as well. And then Saturday, we'll be right back at you, getting ready for the weekend action. Dana, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's knock it out of the park here. And do me a favor this weekend. Catch a basketball game if you can fit one in.
Is basketball going on right now?
It's playoff time, baby. And I'm 13-2 out of my last 15. You're damn right it's playoff time.
Well, I certainly do enjoy 25-point games, so maybe I'll turn it on.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.